Hey friends, welcome to another bike maintenance video. In this video, we're going to be installing these raceface Chester pedals on this Minnesota framed fat bike. Now we're using a fat bike, but this process is going to be very, very similar for most of your mountain bikes. All right, let's get into it. Okay, if you have a bike stand, you can pop this up in the bike stand and the process will be very simple. Those of you who don't have a bike stand, I don't have one down here in the basement today. I'm just gonna flip the bike over like this so I can get to the pedals easily. Just be careful when you do put your bike upside down like this. You need to be careful not to crush any of like your dropper post trigger or anything like that that are on your handlebars. Definitely helps to have a little bit of a rug underneath for protection. The tools that we're going to need are obviously our new pedals. Again, today I'm using the raceface Chester pedals. Most of these pedals you can find on Amazon. I'll put links in the description box below. Will be installed very, very similarly. You can also use a bike pedal wrench. This one's by Bell. It's super cheap. Again, I'll put a link in the description box below if you'd like to pick up one of these on Amazon. But you can also use just a regular 15 millimeter wrench, as long as it's thin enough to get in between the basically your pedal and your crank. As you can see, this is designed to be a little bit smaller and to be able to get in there. All right, with those tools in hand, let's get started. Okay, we've opened up our raceface Chester pedals. You can see this is what these look like brand new. I just got some regular black ones, so they match the current bike color scheme. And we're going to take note of a couple things. Basically, we're going to be looking on the end of these guys right here, and we're going to be looking for the markings. As you can see, we've got a CR-R right there, and that is going to stand for right. So that's the crank right. So that means that's the right pedal. And then this should be CR-L, as you can see. So that means that's going to be the left pedal. So let's first grab this left pedal because we're going to be working on this one that's closest to us. Now, again, with the bike in this position, it looks like this would be the right one. But this is, again, the left pedal because we have to think about it flipped upside down. So again, just be a little careful if you do have this upside down. So what we're first going to do is take off the old stock pedal here. And for that, we need our wrench. Okay, so in order to loosen up our left pedal, basically we can push down on the pedal like this. Again, I've got my little wrench that I've stuck right here. There's a little slot, the flat slot that's right there between the pedal and the crank arm. And I can just push down on the pedal and pull up on that crank wrench, and it should be loosened enough so that you can give it a turn or two. And then basically this should just unthread pretty easily. It's nice and loose. And then you can eventually get in here with your fingers and just loosen it up the rest of the way. And that'll pop off again pretty easily, just like that. So again, to loosen your left crank, you're gonna go in a clockwise direction to loosen it. So again, we're going to check and make sure we've grabbed our CR-L crank, the left crank there. And then what you can do is grab a little bit of all-purpose grease. This is all-purpose bike grease from Park Tools. Again, I'll put a link for this in the description box below if you'd like a little bit of that. And we can just put just a little dab of this onto those little threads right there. And all that's going to do is just make things go on kind of nice and easy. Make sure things stay greased and good and aren't, just having metal against metal. Okay, we're now ready to install the left pedal here. So I'm just going to put this up here. And again, we're going to be going counterclockwise this time and threading it backwards in order to get it back onto the crank. And I'm just going to crank this tight with my fingers, and then we'll use the wrench in order to get it nice and tight there at the end. Okay, we can take the wrench, and again, we'll get that until it's fairly snug. Again, we're going to push down on the pedal in the opposite direction and just pull up. This doesn't have to be super tight. Just make sure it's nice and snug. You don't want that unthreading on you on the trail. And there we go. We have our first pedal on and in place and ready to go. Okay, over here on our right pedal, we're going to be performing basically the same maneuver. So I'm going to put my wrench on here. I'm going to be pushing forward this time. I'm going to be pushing my wrench down, and that's going to be in a counterclockwise rotation. And so I'm going to unthread that just like I did the other one. As soon as it gets out enough, I'll use my fingers and we'll get that all the way off. Here we go. There's our right pedal. Okay, same thing with our right pedal. Again, you can see that this is the CR-R. Again, I'm going to put just a touch of this all-purpose park grease on here. We'll get that spread around on the threads. Okay, we're going to take our pedal, stick it in the hole, and then this time we're going to be threading it back in by going clockwise. So I'm going to make sure that's nice and snug there. Then we can use the wrench here just to get it all the way tightened up. So sometimes it helps to switch your position when you're ready to torque down. And this way I can push down on the pedal and I can pull the wrench back towards me and make sure it's nice and snug. And there you go. The right pedal is now in place. Okay, there we go. A nice fresh set of pedals installed. You can see we have our Chester logo facing in this right direction. We can actually flip this. We get the raceface logo on that side. These are great pedals. Again, it's kind of a plastic surface, but with these nice metal kind of beads for grip. This works really well in the snow, obviously with the fat bike. But again, a great overall mountain bike pedal if you're just looking for something cheap and simple. That's how you install them. If this has helped, hit that thumbs up button for us. Let's start making helpful videos. Stay tuned because we're actually doing a bunch more mountain bike tutorial videos. Those will be coming out soon. Subscribe and we'll see you again on the next one.